Today, the topic is setting your clear expectations to prevent chaos before it starts for the holidays, right? So this is not just Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving's upon us. And then, also then after that, we have Christmas, we have New Year's, and then we have, if you have school age children, we have break from school, where a lot of times the schedule is going to deviate because the kids are out of school for 2 weeks in some places. My kids are out a full two. And then, you've got travel and things like that. Christmas doesn't happen on Christmas Day for everyone. So talking about Thanksgiving and whatever's to come after, because the most chaotic part of a lot of parenting plans are when it deviates from the regular placement schedule, residential schedule, parenting time to give people these special dates and these like vacation provisions. Almost always the conflict is caused by making some sort of assumption or not asking for something that you want or need. So assumptions a lot of times are going to be like, he should know, right? That I am supposed to have the kids till 3 p.m. Assumptions that if you have a parenting plan in place, even if it's not working very well, that your co-parent has read the parenting plan. A lot of people don't. They rely on their memory or they just don't even look. Assuming who's going to transport for the holidays, assuming that like the transportation is going to be the same for the holidays that it is for regular parenting time. Don't make that assumption because sometimes your order says something different or it's silent. Assuming that your ex is going to honor the fact that your family always does a holiday at a certain time of the day. So for example, for me, my family is always late. Like they're never on time for anything when it comes to a holiday meal. My mom every year is like, "Oh, it's going to be at 1 or 2 or whatever," and then it ends up at like 3 or 4. So assuming that my ex would just honor the fact that my family is always late or even remember that my family is always late or care is not an assumption I should make, right? We should just go on whatever we set in stone. And then assuming that if you talked about it already or kind of tentatively agreed or agreed informally that that person's going to actually honor that, don't assume that. Okay. So these are all setups for like chaos, disaster, conflict, all the things. So holidays expose major schedule gaps, vague clauses, unspoken expectations, emotional triggers is a big one. If you have an ex that hates the holidays or hates you, like, right, that's going to come up. And then power struggles that are already present, like holidays are ripe for power struggles. So the solution is one, be super clear on what you're doing for the holidays, agree as early as possible. Like family court season pretty much kicks off at Halloween. So at Halloween, be setting your holidays. Just like do that in the future going forward. Have it in writing and then stick to whatever's in writing so that you don't have like a bunch of issues as you deviate. Okay, so the framework for creating a clear holiday plan if you don't have one, and what to ask for and how to say it. I'm going to go through this in 3 steps. Step number one is confirm the time blocks. Even if it seems clear, a lot of people come to me and they'll say, like, holidays by agreement. That's a trap if you have that. I made a whole video about that. Then some people will have like on mom has Thanksgiving on odd years, dad has Thanksgiving on even years, but it doesn't define Thanksgiving. And we know that some people have, lunch for Thanksgiving. Some people have dinner. Is Thanksgiving starting Wednesday night at 5 p.m. and continuing until Black Friday at 10 a.m.? Like, what is Thanksgiving defined as? Is it just the day? Is it just a few hours? Right? Ask very directly what the time block should be. Like, what time is pickup? What time is exchange happening? Who is transporting? Because those are things where you end up fighting, like from Walgreens as you're picking up the last minute can of cranberry sauce and you're like texting fighting each other. Step two, close any loopholes. High conflict people love loopholes. We've been over this 1,000 times. They like to bend the plans and all of that. So you need to clarify exact time, exact place, who's driving. What happens if someone is late? Like, what do we do if someone is late? If you show up an hour late, do I get to keep the child an additional hour? If I show up and you're not there, do I get to leave after 15 minutes? Um, if you have a blended family situation, maybe considering trying to get all of the kids together at the same time. And then can kids bring items back and forth? I see this a lot more around Christmas, but like their Christmas jammies and their new Christmas toys if we're splitting the holidays that way. Then step three, like in all your communication that you have with your co-parent, Make sure that it's court safe because the likelihood that you're going to find some screenshots of whatever you said floating around in future filings, if you're in the middle of some sort of litigation or court proceedings, is pretty high. So make sure that I'm going to go through some like language and some scripts, but make sure that everything that you say is like short, it's concise, it's to the point, it's neutral, it's factual, and then like it's documented by you for later. So we don't have to guess about what happened. Keep your tone businesslike, keep everything non-emotional and non-conversational. Take out, it's so easy especially early on, to be like, hey, I hope you're doing great, right? Like to start it off. Nope, like we're just going to be super short and to the point. Hi, this is what I would like. Let me know if this works for you. Please respond by X date and X time. If I don't hear back, this is my next step. Okay. All right, let's talk about some example messaging and what you should communicate. Kind of the good messaging versus the bad messaging. And I'm going to start with the bad because it's really easy to fall into those traps, usually emotionally, because we're not getting the response we want, or somebody is pushing against us or asking for something out of spite, and it's easy to get really reactive. I want you to remember that while holidays are super important, as the adult, I feel this especially being 5 years, like this is my fifth set of holidays that are separate. Um, to me, a holiday is just another day. Like I can celebrate on Tuesday, I can celebrate on Saturday. It's no big deal. Who's affected the most by the holidays are the kids. So try to keep that in mind as you're negotiating for things. Does it really matter to you if it's on the 25th, the 26th, or the 28th, right? But some bad messaging is pretty much anything that's reactive. So, for example, just confirming again in all caps that you're not going to randomly change the plan like last year. Can you please be on time for once? Like, don't talk to your co-parent that way, even if they talk to you that way, because all it's going to do is blow everything up. This type of communication is emotional, it's defensive. It's like very evident that this person is reacting to some slight that the other person, did against them in the past. This is actually a real message that I'm reading to you from somebody who's not here. Instead, really good messaging is, hey, I am confirming Thanksgiving plans for this year per the parenting schedule. I have reviewed it, and it says that pickup shall be 2 p.m. at my home. Drop off shall be 7 p.m. at your home. Please confirm that you've reviewed it and that this works, right? It's clean, it's clear, it's documented. And I would even take it like a step further and include a screenshot, depending upon the temperament and the tone of your co-parent, include a screenshot of that provision in the plan. I actually really like that when my co-parent does that to me. I don't have to go searching. I don't have any reason to believe he's pulled out of somebody else's plan and put it in there, right? And it's just like, hey, it's all right here for us to both see. Please confirm that this works as it should, because this is what we agreed to, right? And I just want to be, so we don't have any miscommunication or misunderstanding going forward. Now, the only thing I would do, or one of the things I would do on top of including the screenshot to make that message better, would be to add in a please respond by. So when it says, please confirm that this works, please confirm that this works by Friday at 4 p.m. or what have you. Because if that person doesn't respond, that's a lot of times where people are like, well, he didn't respond, or do I still have to show up, or whatever. Like, just please put in there, like, please respond by this date and this time. It really helps a lot. What to do if they don't respond? Okay, this is your family court, parenting time, a holiday schedule, golden rule. Ask once with a respond by date and time. Wait 48 hours or till that date and time has passed. If they don't respond, follow up once. And then if you still don't hear back, just proceed with the plan. Okay. So then you're protected. So in this example, confirming that pickup is 2 p.m. at my home, if they don't show up to pick up the children, like you had them ready, you packed them, they were good to go, you did your part. If they don't show up to pick up the children, then, now you're free from any obligation, right? If pickup was 2 p.m. at their home and they didn't respond, still show up. for that pickup as though that's what's expected because that is in the plan and what they agreed to. I'm going to talk a little bit about if you don't have a plan here in a minute. And then when you're following up, um, like with that golden rule, so ask once, wait 48 hours, follow up once, and then proceed with the plan. When you're following up, keep it just as short, just as clear, just as concise as you did in the initial request. So, hey, I'm following up on my message below, above, whatever, however your email fills in. If I don't hear from you by 6 p.m. tonight, I will plan to follow the parenting plan schedule as written. And that's it. Like, we're not going to spiral. We're not going to be like, you never respond, none of that, right? We're just going to be very simple, holding the boundary. If this is your first holiday post separation, or if you have had other holidays, but you don't have a parenting plan or your parenting plan just says by agreement of the parties or something like that, then you need to actually make some recommendations as to what you want for the holiday schedule. Okay. So, because the holidays, even if like it's not your custodial time or your parenting time on that holiday, do understand that holidays are meant to be shared between the parties. So, if it's not your time and you want time around or on that holiday, you need to ask for it. So, up until last year, we did not have a fully delineated holiday parenting time schedule naively, or because, I had a co-parenting situation where it was just like there's always been a lot of like pressure for my agreement and pressure for me to do these various things. And so I acquiesced to we will just figure out the holidays because when we were mostly getting along, that worked because I'm from Minnesota. We all live in Minnesota, but my co-parent is not from here and has no family here. So holidays have always been at my family's house unless we were both traveling because we both have family in another state, the state where we met. So I acquiesced, and for 3 years, three sets of holidays, it worked out fine, right? I would just say, oh, I want the parenting time, like my mom's gonna have dinner at 4 o'clock, or whatever time. Can I get the kiddos at 2? I'll keep them till 8 or whatever. And it was always fine until it wasn't, because one year, last year, we had a lot of conflict over some things unrelated to the holidays about, sports, extracurriculars, the schedule, whether or not the kids were going to change schools, and it just like blew up. So we get to the holidays, and I was picking up cranberry sauce in Walgreens on my way to get the kids, arguing in the, via text message, like playing keyboard warrior with my ex about like whether or not I was going to be able to pick them up. Don't do that. Don't be me. Learn from me. Be better than me. And so if it was my first holiday, or if I was going in fresh, or if I wanted to set this up in advance, like right now, but actually back around Halloween, I would set up a full proposal for holiday parenting time. That's what I would do. So I would send an email and I would say, hey, um, Dylan, I don't know, we don't have any Dylans as the X on this call, but like, hey, Dylan, we have the holidays coming up. I know it's really important to both of us that we share them as equitably as possible. Here is my proposal. Please let me know. And then I would have it like laid out, right? So I would have, the kids are out of school on Wednesday. So like, parent A picks up Tuesday from school and keeps the children until Thursday at noon. And then parent B picks them up at noon and keeps them until Friday at noon. And then we resume the regular schedule. And that would be Thanksgiving. And then I would have something similar for Christmas. Parent A is going to start their parenting time by picking the children up from parent B's house on such a date at such a time. We'll keep the children until this time. Parent B will come on duty, pick the child up. And then, at on the 28th, we resume our regular parenting time schedule with the parent coming on duty picking up. Like I would have that all laid out and then say at the end of that message, so this is my proposal. Here's the proposal. Like actually put it in there. I love charts and tables. You can make them in Google Docs with the times and the dates and all that. And then from there, at the end of to conclude the message, I would say, please respond back and let me know if this works for you by this date at this time. If they don't respond, do the follow-up ones. And then if you still don't hear back, I would just go do whatever you proposed. Okay. And that hopefully should work out and nobody like refuses to answer the door and doesn't pick up the kid or won't come get the kids or won't let you have the kids. If it does and you have a question about that, we can definitely workshop that forward. So that's it. That's the mini lesson for today. And hopefully that helps.